Hello. Today I wanted to talk a little bit about some common misconceptions around somatic approaches or something like trauma-informed yoga. Hopefully this will answer some of your questions and put you a little more at ease when investigating or trying these kinds of approaches. So the first misconception is that these kinds of approaches require us to look inside the body right away and keep our attention focused inside the body. And this is often not the case. What is more often the case is that we use the body, we use the sensory apparatus of the body, the five senses, to actually look outside the body. This is called exteroception, and it is a very valuable tool to allow the body to assess its own level of safety. It allows the body to move at its own pace and to see if it's actually okay to proceed with any kind of investigation or practice or method. So this is different from what we may have experienced in more traditional yoga classes, where the focus is more on what's called interoception. And so you might have experienced going to a yoga class and immediately being asked to close your eyes, focus on your breath, look inside. These are all interoceptive awarenesses, and with somatic and trauma-informed approaches, we appreciate that that can be very challenging for many of us for whom the body is a scary terrain. So know that you can, in any of your environments, in any of your classes, you can connect to your body, and from connecting to its senses, look outside the body. And that's one of the key elements of somatic approaches. The second misconception is that these kinds of approaches need to create some kind of catharsis or cathartic experience. And more often than not, the information that flows from these kinds of investigations, from somatic inquiry, are very important and very meaningful and very intelligent, but they reveal themselves in small ways, and they come forward out of our very reverent listening. And so they can be very meaningful and very important, but not have to have a big impact on the body experience itself. The third misconception is that we need to use a lot of somatic techniques or approaches to have an effective practice or to be using it right. And what is more true is that our nervous systems are so intelligent that it actually takes very, very little to cue the nervous system into recognizing its own rhythm of resilience. It takes very, very little. And so we actually don't need a number of practices or even to spend a lot of time. It takes very little for our bodies to recognize what is helpful for them. And so hopefully that will allow you to bring your own curiosity to these kinds of approaches or practices, knowing that they don't require you to bring all of your attention on or inside your body. They don't require you to have big bodily experiences or emotional experiences, and that you don't need to feed a lot into your system, that you can try one thing, for a few seconds, that it doesn't need to be an hour class or a 3-hour class, that it can be very small and still very meaningful. So thank you for joining this conversation, and let me know if you have any other questions.